There are Synthrons. Today, I want to talk about synthesizers and what I wish I knew. Hi, I'm Pure Ambient Drone, and this is my channel where I talk about synthesizers. Hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, keep up with all of my synth adventures by doing that, and thank you for 3,000 plus subs as of the time of this video. And yes, for those of you who have been watching, I beat my son to 3,000. However, he quickly overtook me and he is way ahead of me already. But I did beat him to 3,000. He has a gaming channel, so it's kind of hard to compete from what I hear. I guess games are all the thing. But thank you guys for supporting me over here. Check me out at pureambientdrone.com. It has links to all the places I'm at on the web concerning synthesizers. Okay, enough of that. 3 things that I wish I could go back in time if I had a time machine and tell myself in the beginning of my synth adventures. 3 things that I wish. You ever just kind of wish that you could just go back and talk to yourself? I probably wouldn't believe myself, but just in case I would love to go back and have a conversation. For many, many years, I dreamed of just having this magic mentor that would magically appear someplace into my life and tell me everything I need to know about synthesizers and music production and music marketing. But for the most part, it's been just me, myself, and I. And so if I could go back in time and have a conversation with myself, I could be my own mentor, and my wish would be true. And it would be a magic mentor because I would be like time traveling. So the 3 things that I would tell myself is, number 1, start with an interface that has enough inputs. I struggled for years not being able to play all of my synthesizers at once and then record them onto separate tracks simply because I didn't have enough inputs. So if I could go back into a timeline where I was just starting out, that's one of the things that I would tell younger me. I would say, go back and get yourself a nice interface that has enough inputs. Currently, I am very happy with my purchase of the PreSonus Studio Live Series 3 32 inputs. Real inputs, guys. Real 32 inputs, and I love it. There is so much power under the hood in this interface. I love this thing. And if I could go back, I would tell myself, get something like this, because when I first started, this didn't exist, but I would definitely be telling myself to get enough inputs. Okay. Number 2, what I would be telling myself, and this isn't in any particular order. Number 2, I would tell myself to stop being so perfect. I have wasted years trying to perfect something that never was meant to be perfected. I've listened to the pros over and over and over again and studied them. And you know what keeps coming up the most? If you hear one thing, hear this. Don't be so perfect in your music production, because it's those little quirky accidents and mishaps and mistimings that actually make music organic, not sterile. Nobody likes to hear robotic music. Well, maybe some people do, but I don't. And it comes out so unlively. And when you take away the perfection factor, which I used to be a perfectionist, everything had to be in its order. Everything had to be perfectly lined up. Everything had to be perfectly timed. No more. I would tell myself, don't do that. Just let it flow. Feel the music. Feel it. Don't just program it. Okay? Feel the music, perform the music, don't program the music. That's what I would tell myself. And then, number 3, and this might surprise you because I have a YouTube channel, I would tell myself Don't believe everything that you see and hear on social media, especially YouTube. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I have learned that a lot of synth channels tell you a lot of stuff to get you to buy things that they get an endorsement for by telling you this. Some way, somehow, a lot of companies pay YouTube channels, especially the real big ones, or give them stuff so they'll say good things about it. Very hard for somebody to be critical of a company's product when this company is feeding them free stuff or money in some way or another. So I would tell myself, don't believe everything you see and hear. And I'm going to elaborate on this last one because it is this important. Growing up in a small area, I mean, my dad was military. I traveled all around the world, but in my 20s, we kind of settled in a smaller town. And there was this individual who had a ton of master's degrees, bachelor's degrees. This guy went to school probably his whole life, all right? And his main subject was computers. And he taught computers, and he taught it at the highest level. And I was into computers. I was a professional programmer. And one day I visited at his house. And guess what? This guy didn't own a computer. In fact, he never owned a computer. And I asked him, how in the world is it that you are one of the biggest instructors in this entire area for computers and you don't own a computer? By this time, he was out of teaching. He was retired, and he didn't mind telling me this. He said, you know what? I was getting paid to fake it. I said, you faked it? He said, every bit of it. I don't even know a tenth of what you know how to do, but I can teach it. Well, he was wrong about that too, because I thought about it and I didn't learn a thing from his classes. But you know what? He got paid nonetheless. And he had a great living for many decades teaching things that he didn't even believe in. So if I could go back and tell myself something, I would remind myself of that lesson, and I would not believe everything that I see on social media. Now, before the comments start flying and calling me gullible, no, I don't believe everything on social media. I have never believed everything on social media. This is just a figure of speech that I'm meaning. And I'm just saying that I would be even more cautious than I was. You see, sometimes when we're researching synthesizers, we get gas. And this gas creates a craving, a desire, an unexplainable force within us that says, buy the synthesizer. This person loves it, and he says it's great, or she says it's fantastic. Buy it. And you already want to buy it because you're addicted to synthesizers, and you got somebody telling you to do it. And then you want to believe them because that is satisfying your inner addiction to purchase said synthesizer. I hope that this is reaching somebody on an emotional level rather than a logical level, because I think there's too much thinking going on sometimes inside of our music production and inside of our synthesis, and we need to get a hold of our emotions, and we need to let them flow out of us into our music, but not flow into our wallets so our money can flow out. Thanks for watching my video. If you haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button, tap the bell, check out some of the videos that's going to be popping up or have already popped up, and visit me at pureambientdrone.com. Thanks for all the support over at patreon.com/pureambientdrone. Keep calm and synth on.